He spent a fortune to hire a street prostitute. Then he opened a jar of solidified lard and ordered the woman to lie naked on the bed. He smeared the lard thickly over her entire body, then wrapped her layer by layer with gauze. At first, the woman thought this was just some bizarre fetish, but when he pulled out a sharp scraper, she panicked. He explained it was only for scraping the fat, but she didn't believe him. She cursed him as a madman and turned to leave. Realizing his prey was about to escape, a murderous glint flashed in his eyes. The prostitute was brutally killed, and her pet dog wandered the streets. Calmly, he cut off her long hair and tightly wrapped her body with gauze soaked in lard. After 24 hours of seepage, the scent of her body was completely absorbed into the fat. He carefully scraped off the oil with the blade, not even sparing the residue between strands of hair. Through purification with alcohol and distillation, he finally created a vial of essential oil that carried the fragrance of a young woman's body. When he dropped some onto his hand, the stray dog happily jumped toward him, as if it had caught the scent of its master. The success thrilled him. He brought out 13 treasured perfume bottles. If he could collect the fragrance of 13 young women, he could create the most perfect perfume in the world. Soon, a pair of aristocratic twin sisters caught his attention. Pure and untouched, they carried a unique freshness. Using the same oil extraction process, he produced 2 precious bottles of perfume from their scent. The drained bodies were thrown into the river, sparking citywide panic. Yet the killings continued. In just a few days, 10 more beautiful girls were murdered. None of the victims showed signs of assault or wounds. The only thing they had in common was extraordinary beauty. To prevent further deaths, the city imposed a curfew, and every household nailed shut their doors and windows. Finding it hard to strike again, he turned toward a convent. A young nun fell victim, and this enraged the bishop, who swore to catch the killer. The count's daughter was the most beautiful girl in town, so to keep her safe, the count devised a decoy plan. He disguised his daughter as a boy and had her secretly leave the city, while sending 2 groups along different routes to throw off potential pursuers. But the sharp-nosed killer quickly saw through the trick. On a dark night, he slipped into the inn, stood by the bed, and gazed at the sleeping girl. To him, her beauty would fade with time, but only perfume could preserve her youth forever. The next morning, the count found his daughter's lifeless body. Her head was shaved, and her death was identical to the other victims. While the count drowned in grief, the killer was refining the 13th vial of essence. Soldiers soon surrounded his hideout, and during their search, they found the victim's hair and clothes, undeniable evidence. Faced with capture, he only gave a twisted smile and calmly accepted his fate. On the day of execution, the entire city gathered in the square. When he uncorked the final perfume, something miraculous happened. Everyone, as if under a spell, removed their hats in reverence. Even the executioner dropped his axe and fell to his knees. He dabbed the perfume on a scarf and waved it lightly, and no one present could resist him. The Pope cried out, "Saint!" and the execution ground transformed into what looked like a pilgrimage. Yet, in the midst of this crazed worship, he suddenly felt an emptiness like never before. He realized that even though he could conquer the entire world, what he truly longed for was the ordinary fruit-selling girl from the very beginning.